Good evening. This is CTV News for Tuesday, March 7th. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Glad to have you with us tonight. Well, the White House announces its second attempt at an executive order to temporarily ban citizens of Muslim-majority countries from entering the U.S. There are several differences in the new travel ban. Iraq has been removed from the list, and existing visa holders will not be subjected to the new order. In addition, religious minorities will no longer be given preferential treatment, and Syrian refugees are no longer singled out. Reaction has been divided along party lines.
Someone that is an immigrant that came from a country that is not included, but the surrounding countries are included, the record keeping in those countries is very poor. I myself, I'm not sure exactly when my birthday is, whether it's the 21st or the 20th, because the record keeping is so poor, and there's also a lot of corruption. A lot of people, when they apply for a visa, you have to go through clearance or judicial clearance, and those clearances are all basically given to whoever has connections.
2 years for a refugee to apply for the status after you go through that process. What else you need? Right? What else you need? So we are speaking about refugees, people who are going to be killed because this executive order, people in Central America who is going to be killed because the little one, the kids who are suffering the violence, they don't have the opportunity to come here, so they are going to be killed.
Now that rollout will begin on March 16th.
Maryland Comptroller Peter Franchot pays a visit to Hyattsville this afternoon. Franchot hosted a Taxpayer Services open house at CASA. According to information supplied by the Comptroller's office, immigrants added $3.1 billion to Maryland and local taxes. Franchot says there is a lot of fear in immigrant communities right now, and he wanted to address those issues.
We're right in the middle of the tax season. We just handled our 1 millionth tax return. We've sent out 800,000 refunds to Maryland citizens. But many people in the Latino community are so terrified of what's going on in Washington that they do not file taxes, even when they're owed refunds, and there's a lot of anxiety. So I'm out here to say, look, you can file very safely with us. If you're owed a refund, we'll get the refund to you.
The open house was followed by a Q&A session. Every year, thousands of undocumented immigrants pay into the Social Security system but are not eligible to receive benefits.
That's right. It's an issue that a UDC associate law professor has been studying closely. Jacqueline Lanes is joining us now to talk more about that issue. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Well, tell us first off, explain how the Social Security system works briefly.
So the Social Security system in the United States works if you are working as a W-2 employee, you have taxes that go in and actually are taken out of each paycheck, and they go to Social Security. They're called payroll taxes.
And so you access that when you're older?
Correct. So when someone retires and they collect Social Security benefits, it comes out of what is taken out throughout the course of their lifetime.
And kind of explain immigrant groups, which groups actually pay into this, and how does that part of the puzzle work?
So a little known fact is that everyone who works as a W-2 employee, regardless of their immigration status, they pay into the Social Security system. But a lot of people don't recognize that because it's a bit hidden, right, from plain view.
So explain how that works. Are they using false numbers? Are there actual legitimate programs that allow them to pay into this?
Yes. So to the answer of both questions is yes. People do use false Social Security numbers in order to work. If they have no legal status, they work by providing an employer with false documentation. And there actually also is, in the last segment we heard, that people will pay taxes regardless of whether they actually have a Social Security number. And the IRS created something known as the ITIN. It's ITIN, Individual Taxpayer Identification Number. And that helps individuals pay taxes each year. Even though they're not legally allowed to be in this country, they legally have to file taxes.
And we know we have a large immigrant community, DC, here, everywhere. So that means people are paying a lot into the Social Security pot.
Correct. So as of 2015, the Office of Inspector General issued a report, and this number is actually only through 2012, that $1.2 trillion had accumulated in what's known as the earnings suspense file. So Social Security Administration, their job is just to reconcile earnings and put everyone's benefits where they belong. But when you have people working without a Social Security number, the Social Security number is not valid, it belongs to someone else. The Social Security Administration has what's called an earning suspense file, and that's where these funds live, but anyone who knows about the earning suspense file knows that the Social Security system is pay as you go. So it's not suspended there. The government actually has these outlays that they dip into this trust.
So this is basically a reserve fund that's been sitting there, but the people who should be getting the benefits are never going to be able to do this. Is this keeping our whole Social Security system afloat at this point? I've heard about it going bankrupt in the future.
Right. Well, it's a complex economic analysis, but they certainly are contributing to our Social Security system by putting money in that the vast majority will never access those Social Security benefits in the course of their lifetime.
And what we're talking about are people, we always hear about them using benefits and straining the system, but what you're saying is the opposite.
That's correct. That's correct. And there's, again, a lot of different reports and studies out, and it's complex, but for as far as the earning suspense file and Social Security benefits are concerned, absolutely, undocumented workers are putting far more in than they ever take out of that system.
Well, that's interesting analysis. All
Yes,
right. Thank
absolutely.
you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Governor Hogan's nominee to the State Board of Education withdraws his name from consideration. The decision by Prince George's County Republican Brandon Cooper comes one day after a Maryland Senate committee delayed action on his confirmation. During a hearing Monday night, members grilled Cooper about his brushes with the law, his unpaid state taxes, and his stance on school choice. The Maryland State Education Association also publicly criticized the nomination, citing concerns over Cooper's personal and professional life.